Could this truly be my family? That lingering question plagued my thoughts as I watched them put on their facade, smiles masking their true intentions. It didn't take long for me to harbor resentment toward this semblance of kinship. My name is Samantha, a 28-year-old homemaker. A year ago, I exchanged vows and moved back into my childhood home with my new family. Our circumstances unraveled due to three undeniable reasons. Firstly, my father's company succumbed to bankruptcy, leaving him adrift in a sea of unemployment. Secondly, my elder brother Ryan remains jobless, a fact deemed intolerable in the eyes of our family patriarch. Despite his claims of being a YouTuber, our parents failed to perceive his endeavor as legitimate employment. Thirdly, the looming presence of my mother's terminal illness hangs over us like a dark cloud. Diagnosed shortly before my marriage, she was given a mere 2 years to live. The convergence of these events unfolded in rapid succession, altering the fabric of our lives irreversibly. My father proposed that my husband, Alex, move in with us. Given their close bond and frequent shared moments over drinks, Alex readily agreed. Considering my mother's condition, I too consented to the arrangement, feeling grateful for Alex's support. I was determined to care for my parents to the best of my ability. However, as the year passed since our marriage and cohabitation, my patience with my brother Ryan began to wear thin. It's been quite some time. Why are you content with being a housewife when Dad is without a job? Isn't it odd that you're not contributing financially? Do you even understand the gravity of Mom's situation? What would happen if I didn't handle the household chores, laundry, and meals, Ryan? It's me who's taking care of it all. Your tone drips with sarcasm, yet you have the audacity to speak to me in such a manner. And what about your so-called work from home? Oh, you mean those meager earnings from your side hustle? That hardly qualifies as real work. I don't need to hear this from you, Ryan. Find a real job. Clear? Those words sliced through me like a knife, igniting a firestorm of indignation within. His unfounded accusations left me feeling unjustly attacked, as if I were being painted as the villain in a story I had no part in. When I sought solace in Alex's counsel, his dismissive response of "he's probably just stressed, don't pay him any mind," offered little comfort, failing to grasp the gravity of my predicament. With my mother's illness weighing heavily on my mind, my brother's callous behavior only added fuel to the fire of my frustration. I couldn't shake the nagging question of whether he even cared about our mother's well-being. His indifference seemed glaringly obvious, leaving me to grapple with mounting stress and anxiety. Hey, looks like my workload might be ramping up. If it does, I might have to skip our usual spa trips for a while. I'm fine with that, but as long as you can handle things at home. We still got to take care of my mom. Don't worry, I won't slack off on my duties. Need some extra cash or anything? No, not really. But could you come grocery shopping with me this weekend? If I buy everything for the week in one go, it'll free up some time for work. If you're serious about this, sure. We'll make a trip out of it. Keen to save time, I opted for a weekend grocery run, planning to stock up for the entire week in one shot to minimize future trips. Then, an unexpected incident unfolded. So, Mad Dog, you've swiped my cash. Out of nowhere, my husband pointed an accusing finger at me, alleging theft. Bewildered, I struggled to comprehend his accusations, let alone discern which money he was referring to. His face flushed crimson with anger as he directed his ire toward me. I couldn't fathom why he'd pin it on me. If anything, I should be the one furious. Blaming others isn't fair. Was it taken from your wallet? Don't act innocent. The $3,000 I stashed in the drawer is nowhere to be found. $3,000? Look, return it now, and we can put this behind us. Wait a minute. Why am I the scapegoat here? I had no clue you were hoarding such a hefty sum in the drawer. But you mentioned you were planning to take on more work lately. I found it rather suspicious. I can't believe you'd think so low of me. No, you've got it all twisted. Please trust me. I'm sorry, but I can't continue this if you won't trust me. Stop this nonsense. Give it back. No, I said give it back. Enough. If you're going to harbor that much doubt, then go ahead. Consider me gone, treated like a criminal in my own family. I'll be out of here by the day's end. I snapped. My patience worn thin by the accusations hurled at me by my own family. Banished from the house, I left in a storm of frustration. However, the next day, I received a frantic call from my brother Ryan. Mom's in a terrible state. What? Ever since she realized you were gone, she's been in a state of panic, screaming for you. You need to return and calm her down. I refuse to set foot in that house again. I'm entrusting Mom to you, Ryan. You've never stepped up before, so now's your chance. With a steely resolve, I spoke, though inwardly conflicted. The tug of war between my pride and my worry for Mom weighed heavily on me. Enough with the bravado. This is too much for me to handle alone. She only listens to you, so just come back. Even Alex doesn't know how to handle this. I don't care. You reap what you sow. I will return, and I'm filing for divorce. I couldn't care less about that. It's none of my concern. But if it comes to it, you should take Mom with you. This is Mom and Dad's home. Why should I be the one to leave? If anyone should go, it's you, Ryan. If you're working, you should be self-sufficient. As the eldest son, this house belongs to me. There's no way I'm budging. You have some nerve. Have you ever stopped to think about Mom's well-being? She's fighting an illness right now. I'll return on one condition. You leave, Ryan. Those are my terms. I can't agree to that. It's simply not possible. Quit being so self-centered and come back already. Even amidst such turmoil, Ryan remained obstinate and self-centered. Meanwhile, Alex's absence was conspicuous, seemingly content to linger in the house. Perhaps feeling uneasy, he only returned to sleep, opting to dine elsewhere. My departure had evidently triggered a cascade of discord within the family. I hadn't realized our bonds were so fragile. Then, after a month had elapsed, Alex finally reached out. Hey, how long do you plan to stay away? Come back already. Your mother-in-law is becoming increasingly difficult to handle, posing a significant challenge. Once that's sorted and you've left, we can proceed with the divorce, of course. I'll return. Are you seriously considering that? Of course. I've been accused of theft and ejected from my own home. Wasn't that just an argument in the heat of the moment? You doubted your own family. I feel like I've failed in life. There's no trust left. Don't be ridiculous. The money is missing, and you're the only logical suspect. It's absurd to point fingers without evidence. Spare me your lectures. Just return the money, and we can put an end to this. You're the one acting foolish. Stop with the accusations. The truth is, you were desperate for money at that time. It's all too convenient. The culprit could only be you, criminal. Enough! Do you even want to know why I needed the money? I couldn't care less. Probably some frivolous purchase, like jewelry or whatnot. You were itching to get your hands on that cash. What's happening tomorrow? Huh? Are you serious? You don't even remember your own birthday. Oh, my birthday. Hold on, don't tell me. That's correct. Just as you suspected. I thought it was about time you had a new suit, and since you mentioned wanting a custom-made one, I was saving up for it. But it wasn't enough. Idiot! You know custom suits cost a fortune, and we can't afford that. That's precisely why I wanted to surprise you with it so badly. Yet you accused me of theft, and that hurt. Hold on, I had no idea. Please forgive me. It's not something to get so worked up about, right? I can't forgive you. The trust is shattered, so it's over. I'm sorry, but divorce is the only option now. That's why I've already consulted a lawyer. Or an attorney. Cut that out. I want to resolve this swiftly and return to my mom's place. I refuse. I won't divorce, and I won't vacate this house. We're meant to inherit it, after all. Huh? My resolve to divorce only solidified as Alex's demeanor remained unchanged. If he persists with this attitude, the divorce proceedings are bound to become tumultuous. Nevertheless, I stood firm in my decision. Amidst these thoughts, my brother reached out to me once more. Stop this nonsense. You need to return immediately. No chance. Why didn't you say anything before? What do you mean? Mom spilled the beans. She revealed that you've been footing the mortgage on this house. And not just that, you've been covering all the living expenses as well. Isn't it odd that you were unaware? And your job alone wouldn't suffice to cover all the expenses. But we can't afford the mortgage. What are you talking about? You have a job, yet you haven't contributed a dime to the household expenses. It's your responsibility to pay. Well, yes, but I invested in a computer, a top-of-the-line one. It was quite pricey. What? You spend money on a computer? Because I needed it for work. What choice did I have? Oh, so you're making enough to afford such luxuries. Then surely you can contribute to the mortgage, right? I've already told you I can't afford it. And your husband isn't chipping in for household expenses either. What's going on? Until now, I've been covering everything with my earnings, but now that Alex is dining out for every meal, there's no surplus money. What are we going to do? We need to come up with a solution fast. If we don't pay the mortgage, we'll end up homeless. And what about Mom and Dad? I had reached my limit with my brother's self-centered mindset. Enough already. Who cares about your video game streaming? You barely have 100 subscribers, and your views are in single digits. You won't make any money like that. Nobody watches because it's not interesting. How would you know? I just searched for video game streaming, and it popped up. Wearing a mask and sunglasses doesn't make you unrecognizable. How did you afford a computer with that? Don't tell me you. I didn't take any money from your husband. How would you know about that? Something doesn't add up. Well, actually, I overheard your conversation. What? There was nobody home when we had that argument. You were out, which is unusual for you. That's a misunderstanding. You must have mixed up the dates. Quit playing games. You're the one who stole it, aren't you? If you don't confess, I'll report you to the police. Wait, hold on. Report me to the police. Please, no, don't do that. I just found some money and I borrowed it. I promise I'll pay it back. Stop with the excuses. I'll never forgive you. Get out of my house now. I'll be back tomorrow, and if you're still here, I'm calling the cops. Don't talk to me like that. We're siblings. We're family. Can't things just stay the same? Don't try to sweet-talk your way out of this. I'll never forgive you. Remember that. Leave before I return tomorrow. Consider yourself warned. Without another word, I ended the call with my brother and switched off my phone. It seemed like he kept calling incessantly afterward, but I ignored it all. The next morning, I returned home. I'm back. My mother rushed to greet me. Mom, you're home. I'm so relieved. I never realized how much we need you, Samantha. I'm truly sorry. Mom, it's not your fault. As we conversed in the living room, my brother Ryan emerged from his room, uttering words that left me dumbfounded. So, you decided to grace us with your presence. Here are the details for the loan repayment. Make sure it's transferred today. Also, I've got a tab open at the delivery place, so you can handle that too. It's your fault for disappearing like this. Take some time to reflect on your actions. What on earth are you saying? Stop this nonsense. I told you to leave. I will call the police. You're risking everything over just $3,000. What $3,000? Don't pretend you don't. Whine all you want. But borrowing a little isn't that big of a deal. You're making a fuss over nothing. Big deal? You take my money, then brush it off like it's nothing. That's not fair, is it? Can I have it back? I don't recall lending it to you. Living under my roof doesn't give you the right to be so entitled. We're family. Can't you just let it slide? No, I can't just let it slide. Give it back. Are you sure you want to continue like this? You might not have a place to stay much longer. Witnessing Alex and my brother's argument, my father intervened. This is unlike you, Dad. Enough. Both of you, leave this house. It's my house, and currently, Samantha is the one paying the mortgage. I won't hand it over to anyone. I may be the eldest son, but why is my sister taking charge? You're just the eldest son in name. What have you accomplished? You've been holed up, gaming all day. No job, just coasting on the money I've earned, right? You're over 40. Act your age. Leave. That's too harsh. Isn't it heartless to kick out a man with no means? I've been saying this for ages. This isn't a sudden problem. You could sell that computer of yours. You're not even working. Wait a minute. When I say leave, you leave. And that includes you. What? But I haven't done anything. Haven't done anything? Who drove Samantha away, treating her like a criminal? Marriage is built on trust. Once that's broken, family falls apart. I apologize. I'm sorry. But it was your son, Ryan, who stole, wasn't it? Don't pin it all on me. You befriended me just to worm your way into inheriting my assets, didn't you? The moment I lost my job and the company's collapse, you treated me like dirt because I'm a broke father, right? How despicable. What a vile person you are. I don't want to lay eyes on you. Get out. Don't you dare mess with me. My father's words left me stunned. Perhaps his sudden outburst was the culmination of his frustration reaching its peak. The divorce with Alex was finalized swiftly, ending abruptly. It felt surprisingly relieving, considering I anticipated it to be more complicated. However, after that, Alex reached out to me numerous times. It seems the reason for our divorce became gossip at his workplace, and he couldn't handle it, so he quit. He needs to realize that relying on others' money won't lead him anywhere. And my brother appears to be struggling, taking up a cleaning job at the station. A late start indeed. As for me, I have no choice but to give it my all, praying for my mother's prolonged life. Our family is starting anew with just the three of us, and the brightness has returned to our home life.